Hi, Elaine Marolakos Edelson here with Astrology Mojo and transformational astrology. I want to help you get your mojo back. And this is the first day of the rest of your life. Well, it's true. But on top of that, it is also a lunar eclipse in Capricorn. So before we even get started on anything, who is here? Come say hello to me. Let me know your birthday. I don't need the year, just your month and your day. Are you in the house? Want to come chat with me? We're going to be talking today about some final thoughts on the eclipses. And even though the eclipses are going to be lasting throughout 2020, hey, Wendy. And we're going to talk about some of the physical manifestations on the earth and in your body that you might experience or become aware of during this time. Hi, Christine. Welcome. Bienvenue. Come on in. So, it's definite. It's official. My hair is so long now and getting bushy. I need a haircut. Okay. All right. We'll work on that. Before I grab the scissors and do it myself. Hey, Cindy. Nice to see you. Oh my gosh. You know, in a retrograde, things come back, right? Always. People, objects, projects, things come back. And little things, too. So when our daughter, Aaliyah, who is now 20, was 3, she was so into the Care Bears. I mean, it was an addiction. We had Care Bears everywhere. My husband could even make, what was his name, Dean? He could imitate one of the characters. Anyway, so I have a dry eraser board next to me. And don't cut it? Okay. Christine says, don't cut your hair. Okay. Thank you. And so anyway, I have a dry eraser board and my other dry eraser disappeared. I don't know, but I went rummaging through my little file drawers and look what I found. It's a Care Bear dry eraser. We're going to have fun today with the Care Bears. All right. Hey, Becky's here. How's everyone feeling? We are in the midst of it. We are in the central core of all the transformation and transmutation that can happen for you. So I'd like you to tell me right now, if you can, and keep in mind that there is about a 7 to 10 second delay between what I say and what you hear. And because I'm using an application called OBS, a streaming device in my computer that hooks up with Facebook. So by the time you hear it, I've already moved on. So I'll just be a little more patient. My Leo moon says, no, let's go. Hurry up. Astrology, my friends, in case you're new to me or what I talk about, astrology merely tells you what time it is because the planets don't make you do anything, right? We know the dance, the song and dance I'm about to tell you. The planets don't make you do anything. We live in a cooperation with the cosmos. When the planets make a move, you feel it. And when you make a move, the planets reflect that in astrology by way of aspects and angles, because we are not puppets and we are not controlled. Oh, Sasha has had some intense revelations. Oh, yay, lots of surprising stuff coming up. I won't tell if you won't. But really, what we want to do is to be really aware right now of how we're feeling, what we get locked onto, what we get frustrated by, what we want to judge, what we want to jump on top of, because those are the parts that need transforming. Even if someone, let's say you're reading a Facebook post and someone says, oh yeah, you know, if you take vitamin C, whatever. If you take vitamin C, it doesn't do anything. It's not clinically proven to do anything. It's just, you know, it's all hype. And you read that and you have a gut reaction and you temper it and you go, well, I don't need to engage. I don't need to engage. And you walk away and then 10 minutes later, you come back and you go, wait a second, that's just not true. And, clickety clack, and you have to prove your point. So these kinds of feelings that come from a place of defense. We're going to talk about Mercury in retrograde in Leo. These kinds of things come up because you want to prove to someone, even if it doesn't matter, you may not know the person, you just want to right the wrong. That is your intention. And you're thinking, no, that's misinformation. I have clinical data. I have scrolls. I have paperwork. I have done the research. I am a personal experience, navigator for vitamin C, and I know. So even if you come from a place of wanting to educate or enlighten, you have to check your motivation. What's your MO? Where are you coming from? Because that's going to be so telling this month. And plus, I'll tell you, with Pluto, we are going to talk about the eclipses, but I just have to say this, and I see some comments. Last night I was journaling at 1 a.m. Good for you. Hi, Virginia. Welcome. You're new. Welcome, Virginia. What is your birthday, your month, and your day? I don't need the year. Becky, we all need to pause. Same. Amen to that, Becky. Amen Ra is where that comes from, by the way. It's an Egyptian phrase. So let's see. Pluto, that's where I was going. I said this was going to be a short talk. I don't know about that. Dean, I'm moving my agenda aside today. I have some things to say. So Pluto represents, even though the scientific community says that Pluto is now a dwarf star, it's in a big conversation to bring it back. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What matters really is what it represents in astrology. And in astrology, it represents the transformation on a core level, the power behind you. Not to say that it is the power. Virginia, December 1st. Well, I have a naturopathic doctor who is December 1st, Miss Sagittarius, and I have a nephew who is December 1st. So welcome to the fold. And this type of definition for Pluto is the power that you can put into the world once you recognize that power for the purposes of transformation for yourself and others. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to write a book. You don't have to, win awards. You don't have to stand on stage. You don't have to have a platform, because your world is a platform. You talk to people, you interact, you work, you share, you give, you take, you allow, you disallow, you do all these things. And so what's really important is to recognize that during this month, with a Cancer solar eclipse 10 degrees, a Capricorn lunar eclipse 24 degrees, which technically happens tomorrow in Europe and in Southeast Asia, I believe, but we won't really see it, but we're feeling it. The whole planet's going to feel it. And then we have the Mercury in retrograde in Leo, and then on Friday the 19th, it moves into Cancer through July 31st. So when our perceptions, that's Mercury in retrograde, get turned inward, we become more aware of our judgments, self-judgment first, and self-condemnation. Oh, really? Please. And then we become aware of the things that give us the most absolute joy. Cooking, for me, baking, with recipes that don't include wheat or sugar. And I'll tell you, my donuts are great. The ginger cake I make is pretty awesome. I make whoopsie breads, also called cloud breads, without any flour. So, finding those solutions for me, even though it doesn't affect anybody except me or my husband, whoever comes for a snack, is powerful. So you don't, let's change our perceptions that you think you have to affect change across the board. Now, Power versus Force is a book written here in Sedona, by a gentleman who is no longer here. But anyway, what he talks about is the ability to help one single person. And when you help one single person, what happens? What happens? What do you think happens? Da, da, da. Have an answer? Well, according to Dr. David Hawkins, you affect change for 90,000 people. Echo, 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 echo. Really? You think that's true? I do. I absolutely do. David Hawkins was the one who helped bring muscle testing to the forefront, helped to... You can actually go online and get the book or watch his videos, Power versus Force. And so Pluto represents power. What's force? Force is the agenda that a person has to manipulate the outcome to their satisfaction. And that's not always for the benefit of all. Now, we can't always help everybody, but you help yourself as best as possible. You will resonate a frequency 3 to 5 feet. Remember, we've been talking about your aura, all the different bodies that you have, the etheric body, emotional body, physical body, all that, the celestial body. So you can go back. If you're new to me, like Virginia is, what you can do is go back to my YouTube page, and you can Astrology Mojo YouTube, and you can look at all the videos that I've done and get caught up. Okay. Oh, and yes, so Virginia says, I'm in a big change right now, and you can feel it. Pay it forward. Absolutely. So, when you choose between, it's old, right? You've heard this, the doing versus the being. When you choose, make a conscious choice to be first, be your most authentic self first, and then put that into the world, then you're doing. And it's an automatic thing. You don't have to think about, what am I doing now? Because you're already being, and that's the doing. Feed 2 birds with 1 seed. We're done. Okay. All right, now let's talk about, I wrote a lot of notes for the eclipses. Now, some people, they can't sleep. Some people, they can't wake up. Some people are feeling really achy. Some people are getting frustrated in an instant, where they typically have a more, temperate disposition. I have some stones to represent these energies. Now, the Cancer solar eclipse, I see very much like a Larimar. And a Larimar comes from the Caribbean. And it's very fluid. It's so pretty. And I like the chunks of rocks. I do have a necklace as well, which I could have wore that today, but I didn't think about it. But the Larimar is a very soft, fluid stone. And I think of the solar eclipse in Cancer as that kind of energy that happened on July 2nd. But remember, folks, nothing ever stops or starts on a dime in the universe. And so even though the eclipse has already happened, we're still in the guise, the energy of it. And the lunar shines a light on what you're manifesting. And the solar shines a light on what you're manifesting, and the lunar casts a glow on how you feel and what are the undercurrents. What are the things that you're not conscious about? Where you say, oh, I'm such a good person. I give at Christmas. I give birthday cards. I give all the time. And how come I don't get what I want? How come? Well, there's, do we have 12 days to talk about one topic? I don't know. But I'm not sure, Virginia, what your question refers to. Is periods also in effect asking for a friend? I don't know what that means. If you can clarify that, I'm happy to help if I can. So when these energies come together, your perception alters, right? So that's what we've been talking about. Now, what are the real physical things we can experience? Well, there's a whole lot more weather changes when there is an eclipse phase, and they happen every 6 months, 2 weeks apart, solar and lunar. Sometimes there's a sandwich, and then there's a solar, lunar, solar, or a lunar, solar, lunar. And the next eclipse in Capricorn happens on Christmas, December 25th. And then we have another eclipse in January 2020. So every 6 months, we're brought to accountability. Let's look at it like that. But it doesn't have to be a negative thing. So, and I have my notes here because there's so many, and I just started scribbling, and like while I was doing other things, it's like, oh wait, there's that too. Wait, there's, so I have like all these little scribbles I want to chat about. And hi, Samuel's here as well. Libra, we have a Libra, we've got a Sagittarius, we have 2 Sagittarians, we've got a Taurus. So thanks for stopping by the way. You know, our nephew Theo, who is now 27, I think, when he was a kid, I used to ask him, maybe he was 6 or 7, I'd say, what do you think you want to do and be when you grow up? And he said, I want to have a restaurant, and I want to build things and make trees and, plant flowers. And I said, that's beautiful. What's your restaurant going to be called? And he said, thanks for stopping by. December 1st, Sag, Taurus rising. He is a builder and a landscaper and, right, true to form. And he's an amazing chef and a mountain man. Okay, so the soul retrieval is what occurs during eclipse phase with the Mercury in retrograde. Remember, the planets aren't doing this to you. Your perception is turned inward. And with Pluto doing its thing, and I'll show this to you as I've been showing people. La, 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 la. There it is. Today, folks, this is what it looks like. July 15th, 2019. Now, if you're listening to this in a replay, the eclipse information really still holds true for many months to come, and it's evergreen, and the basics of retrogrades. Pluto is retrograde right now in Capricorn, conjunct right next to the South Node. And the South Node in astrology is an adjunct of the moon, what we're meant to move away from, what we did in past lives that no longer apply, things that we contracted out to others. You became an indentured servant, a subservient spouse, a child with who was orphaned and had no say. So all the things that you did for the sake of propriety, circumstance, fill in the blank, we're moving away from that now. You're breaking those contracts. You're letting things go. You're tired. You're done. You're done. Conjunct Saturn also. The old systems are breaking down. Conjunct the moon in Capricorn. Full moon lunar eclipse is pretty powerful. So when everything opposes, as you can see, wait a minute, let me go this way. When everything opposes the Sun, Venus, North Node, then both eclipses. What we're looking at here is you're saying to yourself, okay, I need something different. My relationship, my job, myself, my world, my living room, my environment, my furniture, my mind, my relationships with family and the earth itself. I literally am done with harmful chemicals. I am so done with harmful chemicals because they're energy disruptors, hormone disruptors, energy disruptors in the house. We got rid of the microwave. We no more nail polish, at least not for more than 60 days, because then it becomes toxic to your bloodstream. I actually made my own face foundation. Yeah, so this is like a Cancer Capricorn combo. It's like saying, what do you need to feel better about yourself? What is it that you would like to do, say, be, have, that represents who you truly are? And if you're in a relationship that you keep trying to make it work and how hard should it be? If you keep going around the same block with the same issues and the same person, then this is the 6th to 8th month stretch, depending on your chart as well, that you say, I'm done. Yeah. I don't know what it's supposed to look like, but it's not this. And sometimes we stay in a relationship. We've all done it. We stay in a relationship because it's easier, because it's better than nothing, because it's the most we think we can have or deserve. Hi, Ellen. Hey, Lindsay. Let me just read some comments. I just realized people were commenting. No more survival mode for me. I need something different. Exactly, says Sasha. Pisces sun, Scorpio rising, Leo moon. Leo moon, me too. Breathe, because you're going to get really excited now about taking back your power without having to manipulate. I don't mean that in a negative way. Without having to orchestrate other people. It's not your job to make them happy. It's not your job to build the team. It's your job to lead based on your heart. Go for it. Lindsay, I just had a long friendship come to a dramatic end 2 days ago. Is this part of the eclipse energy? Yes, it is. And it is painful. And then when you look at Lindsay, and I feel for you, we've all been there. When you look at what supported this relationship, and then you go back to, well, we said this, that happened, this happened. Once you get past the details, and this is what I love about Mercury in retrograde, people run and hide. No, it brings such clarity to a situation if you're willing to be present and be still. Can we all breathe right now? Everyone with me. Just take in a deep breath. In through the nose. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Out of the mouth. The present moment is the most powerful moment you will ever encounter. Sometimes power, you think, has to do with the Avengers, triumphing over evil. But sometimes power is just being present, and it's such a peaceful moment, and you don't have to do anything with it. Come on, don't we do enough? Hello? Oh, you like the cup? I bought it for my dad in Santa Fe. My husband and I got a bunch of them, and they're petroglyph cups with a copper sheen. Yeah, bronze copper sheen. Thank you. So the whole idea of endings, when you become present, suddenly you have a realization, and you know the moment in time that relationship didn't need to be what it was any longer. But sometimes it's painful because we have to sift through and swim through well, wait a second, I gave everything to this person, or why didn't they ever tell me that I hurt their feelings 6 years ago? Why did they hold on to it? What can I do now? How can I make it better? What can I do? What can I do? If someone needs to leave your life, and the Saturn aspect next to the South Node in Capricorn, this is the purging of a system, business system, financial system, relationship system, health system, whatever you put into place, whatever vow you made last year, 10 years ago, 100 years ago, 5,000 years ago, whatever vow you made to, I'm going to stick through it no matter what, because I'm a loyal person, or I'm going to make this work, or I'll be present because that's what I do. And then things fall apart and you say, what the hell just happened in my life? What happened? I wasn't present. What happened? And so, we just take a deep breath and get calm and say, what can we do now? What can we do now? Well, when systems collapse, here comes Cancer energy. And the Cancer energy, the external, if you know Cancer people, externally, they are so cool, calm, and collected. And then what happened? Inside, they are driven by, depending on who they are, esoteric energy is they are driven and motivated by purpose and nurturing and compassion. And sometimes that compassion lends itself to financial support or police action, becoming a police officer or an attorney, or, striking up the band, taking up the cause, championing the underdog, and, or it's, nurturing through food, opening up a restaurant Instead of hugging their kids, they cook for them. So there's different types of nurturing. Now, the mundane version of the Cancer energy is defensive, moody, emotional, sarcastic, and frustrated because they take in so much feeling. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to negotiate it. Now, what we're going to talk about even more is how to negotiate this sense of loss. If you're having this sense of something's got to change, I can feel the energy snaking. What do I do? So the Cancer energy, while we're talking about this, and this is all about soul and spiritual retrieval. Just keep in mind, the soul is the one whole being, the I am presence, the pure conscious love. It is genderless, odorless, agendaless. It is everything you are. The spirit is the extension of the light. That is your individual self. The soul is one whole being. The spirit is the extension of the light. And that is who you are on this earth, in this body, or wherever you choose to go. And so the retrieval comes through this particular set of eclipses with the opposition to Pluto, Saturn, South Node. This is what makes it a powerful, powerful time of transformation and transmutation. What's the difference, Elaine? Transmutation is different in that, transformation is, I recommend you meditate 3 times a day, just so you can get calm and get more present. So that's and then if you do it, you feel different. You say, oh, wow, that was really helpful. Or now I feel more inspired, or I'm calmer, or I'm less worried. So transformation is when you apply something that can help you change. Transmutation is when you've applied so many things and you are now in alignment that you physically, biologically become your next highest self. That is a scientific thing that happens in nature. So, Cancer, the body, breasts, chest in a man, stomach and digestion as well. Cancer energy represents the mother DNA and genetics. So if you get wrapped up in something and you get ulcers from it, or you get a stomach ache, or you can't sleep at night because you're processing, I want you to think about, gosh, what was my mom like? Am I emulating the same stuff? Do I need to break that pattern? Remember, we're looking at opposites now. We're breaking the pattern. Not just digestion, but it's assimilation of matter. So home and family, yes. Emotions, yes. The swell, the tide of energy, yes. If you are overwhelmed and you're at work and you're building it up on the inside, it's got to have a release. Cry in the bathroom. Deep breaths. Listen, there are so many things you can do energetically in a small moment to help yourself get through it. You need to take care of your body, your mind, your spirit. When you're hungry, eat, take proper nutrition, start minimizing all the chemicals in your world, hair products that contain the letters PPG or PEG, toxic, carcinogenic. No matter what they say, sulfates, carcinogenic. Hormone disruptors, parabens, sulfates, so if you can minimize the assault from the chemical world as much as possible, heavy metals, get the amalgams taken out of your teeth if you've got any. So over time, you can literally diminish the disruptors that stop you from really tuning into who you are and what you're about and what you want to do. Okay, so, so now, Capricorn. Oh, and Cancer, the sign of Cancer is guided and governed by the moon in astrology. So that's why that all looks like it does. Real estate might matter. Now you might, and these are not negative or positive things in it of itself. It is dealing with these topics. A Cancer solar eclipse, being motivated to go to the next level of who you are Capricorn supports the structure. Capricorn is the building. Capricorn is the building, and then Cancer comes in and makes it a home. So Capricorn and Cancer energies are cardinal energies. They're very ambitious. And even though they're opposite energies, they're very ambitious, but they can work together because one is earth and one is water. And when water runs over stone, it makes a smooth rock. Saturn, Capricorn. Where are you going to feel it? Bones, teeth, skin, joints, nails, hair. The structure of your entire body. Where Leo energy deals with the spine and the support system, which we're going to talk about Leo and Mercury retrograde in a sec. But Capricorn is the basic structure of who you are, how you organize your day. As well, it binds things, contracts. Capricorn is great for creating contracts. That's why they make great attorneys and or great teachers, because they hold the student accountable. And I am a Capricorn rising. So if you come to me for a reading and we have a share and then you want to come back, I want to know that you did what we just talked about. Or else I'm going to take your money. I don't want to, unless you're growing. Because the contract that I have made in my mind is that I want to help educate, help enlighten, help entertain, make people laugh, on the road, because it doesn't always feel good. So, but then if you just change your mind, change your perception, change your dynamics, set up a new structure, wow, what could you do? Anything. So the stone, a lot of times that I associate with Capricorn is smoky quartz. This is for me. I mean, you may not associate. It's a very grounding stone. It's a very beautiful stone. I don't have it backlit or anything, but it's a very light taupe color, brown. And I feel very at home with this. Plus, for me, labradorite is a really gorgeous stone that's illuminated from the inside, and Capricorn energy. The symbol for Cancer is a crab. They move sideways. They have a defense system. They want to make sure things, and they live in the currents, right? So they have to be protected or else they get overwhelmed. Now, Capricorn is a goat that climbs very slowly, steadily up the mountain path to the top. But its tail is a dolphin's tail, and it swims in the ocean, the depths of mysticism. So it wants to apply the mystical training. It wants to apply the proper structure for the people in the environment. And also for Capricorn, it's a contracting, dry energy. So if you're feeling overwhelmed with emotions, the Capricorn lunar eclipse can help to balance you out. If you can't stop crying or you can't stop sleeping, the Capricorn energy comes by and says, all right, let's just take a breath. I know you want to eat sugar and something crunchy, but let's just, make some seed crackers. I did with flaxseed the other day. Flaxseed, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, some salt, some garlic, and some pecans. Mixed it all together, added some water, flattened it out, rolled it, stuck it in the oven for 20 minutes. Crackers. My Capricorn rising loves to crunch on crackers. So now I'm not eating anything harmful. I'm actually enhancing my body. So while you're doing that, you're also helping to cool down the emotions. Now, if it's the opposite and you don't emote and you need to express yourself, then that's what the balance of the Cancer solar eclipse is for. So you can feel it. Something's coming. I don't want to feel it. And you keep it pushed down. That's not going to help you. In fact, you could get physically ill. You could get dizzy. So some of the things that we're looking at, with Saturn, controls the parathyroid. And the parathyroid in the body is all about calcium, right? Which helps to build bones. Now, it doesn't mean that you need to go out and start consuming a lot of calcium or drinking milk. Milk has a lot of sugar, and you may be lactose intolerant. You may not want to consume dairy from a cow. So calcium in your body can also mean too much calcium. You could have calcium deposits. You could have fibroid cysts in your body. The congestion that happens. The lymphatic system is something that needs to be moved daily. So walking, a little bit of jogging, some weight exercises mixed with some what they call peak 8, or you could do peak 4, and that is whatever you're doing. If you walk for 30 seconds. You can have a timer, walk for 30 seconds, and then walk really fast for a minute, and then come back to 30 seconds. And you do that 4 times. So you're increasing blood flow. It's like a HIIT exercise, high intensity training. If you're on a bicycle, you do the same thing. If you're swimming, you do the same thing. So you go regular speed, then for 30 seconds, all out, or 1 minute, all out, and then you come back to. So it helps to pump the heart. You get cardiovascular at the same time. You don't put too much pressure on the joints, the spine, or the knees. Okay. So that helps. Now, where Cancer moon energy is maternal DNA, Saturn, Capricorn energy is paternal DNA. And the paternal DNA sometimes translates into you take on your mother's karmic information. These are the contracts we start to make. Or we take on our father's masculine parent. If you're in a same-sex household, then the more maternal parent would be that. The paternal parent, and it's not just physical DNA. I'm talking about we change when we're if we're adopted, or we adopt children. We alter our DNA and our structure, our emotional patterns after the people who raise us. Make sense? Okay. So if you're constipated, you might need something that is more fluid for you, that helps to move things through your body, not just calcium, but a balance. Minerals and amino acids need balance, like potassium needs magnesium. It's not just magnesium. It's not just potassium. Okay. So you want to look at things like that in your body and get lab tests eventually, so you can see what you need, if that makes sense. Okay. Now, the Leo lunar eclipse conjunction, Mercury and, I'm sorry, let me back up. The Mercury in retrograde, Leo, almost opposing not really, but it will soon because we're moving into Cancer, almost opposing the lunar eclipse energy. So Leo is a bright energy, represents the sun in astrology, and is motivated by generosity, and it has a very, I would call it a warming effect, sometimes dry. It relates to the spine, physical spine, emotional support, financial support, and vitality and energy. And also the thymus gland. And the thymus gland, believe it or not, has to do with the defense system in the body, the T cells, the white blood cell count. So when the Mercury in retrograde in Leo comes by, which we're in right now, if you have any Leo in your chart, not just sun, rising, or moon, but any planet in Leo, you suddenly feel, oh, wait a minute, let me take a second look at what I'm doing. Hey, I have a better idea. So it's a much more optimistic look at something, unless you've been terribly, terribly wounded and you haven't dealt with it. Then what you'll feel is, wait, hey, I have a better idea. Yeah, you can go. You can get the bleep out, because I want to start taking care of myself. So it depends on who you are, right, and what's happening. And then what you want to look at, and the negative side of Leo is defensive, like a Cancer energy can be. It is wounded, and it can just hold on to something and expect, might as well do it myself, I gave to them, they didn't give back to me. I feel so betrayed. That's an energy that can come when you've not been dealing with the structure of your life that you have created. Does that make sense? Let me know that this makes sense. So, what do you want to do with all this stuff? You want to populate your mind with positive reinforcement so that you can regulate your environment, so that you can build on a new structure that helps you to get to where you want to go. Ta-da! It's like happy feet. You know, tick, 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 tick. My feet are dancing. Tick, 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 tick. Lindsay asks, are our dreams more prophetic right now? I have dreamt about a loved one's health 2 nights in a row or more. Most likely, yes. And it doesn't, okay, so I've done a whole thing on dreams too in my videos. That there are several types of dreams. For those of you who are unfamiliar, please don't use a dream dictionary. Please. You have your own dream dictionary in your psyche. That's what Pluto's all about right now. And so if you're dreaming about the health of someone, if you're dreaming about anything and it's a repetitive thing, the universe is attempting to get your attention. Now, the universe consists of passed on loved ones, angels, not the religious kind, but they are a race of beings that want to help us. Starseed families that come from different planetary systems, and your own higher self, and your own pure conscious love. So all these things come together and go, hey, wake up, wake up, wake up. I got something to share with you. And so if you're dreaming about a specific person, you want to ask yourself, what does that person mean to me? And then you journal about it. Because you can take the dream literally. Oh my gosh, I dreamed that my husband tripped and dropped his keys. And then 2 days later, he trips and drops his keys. That's literal, also called prophetic. Then, but prophecy can change into you dream about an owl flying at your face 3 nights in a row. And does an owl fly at your face? No. Maybe not. If it does, I'd like to hear about that story. What was that like? But you would need to ask yourself, what does an owl mean to you? Not what a dream dictionary says an owl means to you. What does an owl mean to you? And here's the best way I've found to do it. Over the years that I've been practicing and doing dream journaling and teaching that with my clients as well, is if you have a very profound dream and it's recurring, you want to write down the dream in as much detail as possible. And when you do, then pretend that someone comes to you from another planet and they say, oh, who is your loved one? Or what's an umbrella? Or what's an owl? And then you write down your definition. And once you have this definition, then you're going to gain more clues as to why your psyche is translating this information into an owl, an umbrella, a loved one's health. That's also prophetic, which is also called symbolic. Okay, so there's literal, which can be prophetic. There's symbolic, which can be prophetic. And there's hallucinatory, which is what happens when you're on medication or drugs or have a very high fever. And in most cases, they're disturbing. So you don't really need to pay attention to those because they are induced by, you have a trip, a head trip in your dream. Okay, so stick with that and see if you can make sense of it. And Virginia says, I've been hearing owls. Ooh. Here's the card I pulled. So maybe that's where I got the owl reference from. Your mind. Inspiration. Inspiration? What does that mean? Isn't that a pretty matrix? Look at that. You're so inspiring. Listen, I've got another spot left for my Power Hour session for eclipses and the retrogrades and the nodes and your trajectory and where you're going, where you came from, how to alter the behavior, things to do, because it's a prescriptive type of reading where I give you things to do to alter your energy. And then, as I like to hold accountability, it's up to you to actually make it work. So once we become aware of the issues, it's, sometimes people say, oh yeah, I have this person over here and we have this relationship and I've got this situation over here and I've got this situation over here and I will point you in the direction of your hand. They all look separate, right? But they're attached to one being. So everything in your life is there because of you. And if you don't like what you see, let me help you transform and transmute that. All right. Dean will post a link to, you can also click on the blue Book Now button if you are on Facebook and on a computer on Facebook. It's above, I believe. And if you're on a tablet or a phone, I think you have to scroll to see the button down at the bottom. If not, Dean will post a link and make it easier for you. All right. So what do? I ordered these wonderful little lights, like little Moroccan fairy lights, from a seller who is a woman and she lives in Iran and her name is Farhat. And Farhat, I'm thanking you, even if you never hear this. I sent her an email anyway. But she sent me the lights and then she sent me this little pastry. It's a watermelon pastry that she sent me to say thank you. Sweet, which I don't eat sugar, but I just loved that this came with the lights. And little touches like that make me think about what's coming back my way. I want you to think about this before we talk again. Now, when Mercury in retrograde moves into Cancer, it's going to be more of an inward, quiet, I just need to take a break, don't anybody talk to me kind of thing. It's going to be a profound experience. You're going to see what's coming your way. You're going to see the thoughts that you're creating over and over and over again that make your reality a reality. So what I'd like you to do is to meditate more. You don't have to do anything fancy. You can breathe, focus, breathe, exhale. Write down your journal, your dreams in your journal. Find something symbolic in your environment. When I talk about populating your mind with positive, happy things, you're on a thread together and you're looking at me. Communicate with each other. Why not? This is a community. So Brittany says, thank you for all your wonderful insights December 7th and definitely going through some difficult times. Change is so hard. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's hard. I know. What you can do, Brittany, is commune with the other people on the thread, right? Virginia is also a Sagittarius. And, when you have hard work ahead of you, it feels like chisel and stone just to write a letter. It feels like I need to go fetch water from the stream past the den of tigers and lions before I can drink, So if you can start to alter your thoughts just a little at a time, folks, a little at a time, and it all gets done. Listen, I am proof positive that this works. I am proof positive. Terrible, terrible depression. I got the mercury taken out of my mouth. It's like the cloud literally lifted from my brain. And then I cried over my suffering. And then I let that go too. Little bits at a time, and you start to attract to you people who can help you. People who can support you. Even if it's just good morning. Those are beautiful earrings, and then you start to allow it. Doesn't that feel good? Yay! So little bits at a time. Support each other. How hard is that to say good morning? You'll get through it. I have faith in you. I believe in you. And you remember, we're all from the whole. So when you make that transition on any level, everybody feels it. That's a beautiful continuity, isn't it? I just think so. And also, Dean, if you would post the Bodhi Brainstorm, folks, if you're new to me, please watch my videos on YouTube. You can check out my almost completed website. What is that about? Astrologymojo.com. But also, these videos have so much technique, EFT tapping, meditation, dream journal, stuff that you can benefit by and utilize. It's up to you to use these things. You've got to do them. And when you do them, you'll see results. That is transmutation and transformation at its best. And the Bodhi Brainstorm is something that I created for people. It's my gift to you. So you just need headphones, earbuds, and 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes tops. I had a client who is a go-getter attorney, and she listened to it. She called me up and she said, I don't know what's happening, but I'm losing my mind. I wanted to kill people today. And I was like, what happened? What happened? This was a few years ago. And she said, well, I was listening to the Bodhi Brainstorm. And I said, okay. And she said, and then, I was doing my work. I said, okay. She said, and then just suddenly I was like, if they don't stop, and I said, whoa, back up. How long did you listen to the brainstorm for? And she said, 8 hours. Echo, 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 echo. Slow motion things crashing. And I said, 8 hours? No. 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Read the instructions. Comes with a PDF. Read the instructions. Oh, thank you, Sasha, for supporting me. Listen, if we don't work it out, it doesn't get worked out. It's that simple. Okay, one final card. This particular eclipse, it happens tomorrow on July 16th. You may feel shaky because it's combined with a moon void. A lot of voids this week. Yeah. So be careful driving. Be careful doing anything technological. If you're chopping things and, you want to talk to your friend, don't do that. Okay, just be present. My husband and I have forgotten things, so many things this past week. Like, where did I put my cup? And we'd find it in the laundry room or in the garage. It was like, how did it get there? One of us moved it. How come we're not paying attention? So you just need to go slow. Do not combine things because you'll be juggling and then the pizza falls on your head or something else. And we don't want that to happen. So one final thought. If your achy, breaky heart needs something different, breathe, inhale, exhale, find peace. That moment, that spark is in your heart. Cocoon, go within, be quiet, relax. You are supported by this universe, and I will be back by, drum roll, Friday the 19th. I'm coming back in the afternoon. Not in the morning. So at 3 p.m. Pacific, Arizona time, I will be back on Friday the 19th. I hope you can make it. It'll be later for people in the Midwest, Mountain Time, Midwest, East Coast, and Europe. So maybe you'll have a better chance of seeing me. So I'll be back on Friday the 19th, 3 p.m. Pacific, Arizona time. One final card for everyone. Kathy, so good to see you. You too. Listen to the replay. Replay, echo, 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 echo. Oh, is this not the perfect card to wind up with? Love. What is love? It is who you are. Pure conscious love. Pure conscious love. It's who you are. Now, remember, folks, I got, for the Eclipse Power Hour, I have one session left. And we're going to look at your trajectory from 19 years ago, what you're still holding on to, what structure in your world needs to break free so that you can move forward, and the trajectory for the future, as well as your personal karmic insight and how we can let that go and replace it with something positive so that you are populating your mind and your world with pure conscious love and the thing that makes you the happiest. Ta-da! All right, be sparkly, be present. I said this was going to be 30 minutes, and I think I did an hour. Time is a no thing. Yes, it is. All right, I'll be back on Friday afternoon, folks. Be well, be sparkly, ride the waves. You're good. You're good to go. All right.